Planning Commission. Good evening and welcome. We are the recommending body to the Oconee Board of Commissioners. Decisions made tonight on rezoning requests and other issues will be forwarded to the Board of Commissioners for any final action. Tonight's agenda and sign-up sheets were in the back. A few of you found them and I've got your names here. But if any of you are inspired, you can raise your hand and we'll recognize you later on if you need to. The Oconee Planning Department staff is going to present each recommendation one at a time. We'll then ask the petitioner or the petitioner's representative to come up. Then we'll ask for individuals that would like to speak in favor of the request. When all of those are exhausted, we'll open it up to anybody that wants to speak in opposition. Both of those time blocks, we try to keep it at about 20 minutes or so if need be. Then once I've given the public a chance to speak, I'll eventually close the public portion and I'll bring it up to these people up here at the commission. And they'll get their questions answered and we'll ask questions of the petitioner and possibly the staff. Upon all the questions getting answered, I'll ask for a motion and a second, and we'll discuss that motion and then we'll vote on it. Again, we'll send it up to the Board of Commissioners. What we'd like for you to do is, for the benefit of those present and a few people watching online, all comments should be made up here at the podium into the mic. Upon approaching the podium, please state your name and your address. Please direct your comments to the Planning Commission and not to others in the audience. And when there are multiple speakers that might be saying the same thing, you can even give it a ditto, but we'd ask you to point out the new aspects that you'd like to bring to our attention so as to save a little bit of time. And then we ask the audience to extend courtesy by not applauding or commenting from their seats on any of the speakers at the podium. And with that, I will ask my colleagues to point out any discrepancies in last month's minutes. And if there are no corrections or additions, I'll look for a motion to approve. I'm sorry, motion to approve.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes.
Finding no mistakes, Matt has spoken up.
I'll second it.
Okay, Nathan. We have a first and a second on the motion to approve. Everyone that agrees, please raise your right hand. Call that unanimous. All right, with that, Mr. Herring, I'll invite you up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Again, this is your first case, special use P240155. Chris Terrell is applicant and owner. This is parcel B 12018C along the Oconee County, Greene County line. It's currently zoned AG in the Ag Preservation Character Area. And again, the applicant is requesting to remove the 7 conditions of conditional use 2636 to allow the creation of 2 lots on an unpaved road, Black Hike Road. That's permitted by right in the UDC. You have the old conditions before you. This is the recorded plat and the concept plan proposing the 2 lot split along Black Hike Road. And staff recommends conditional approval with our 2 standard conditions. Thank you.
All right, I'll invite the petitioner or the petitioner's representative.
Good evening. My name is Chris Terrell. My address is 1600 Black Hike Road. Hey, here for any questions. I think Guy presented it pretty well. Straightforward.
Right, if that's all you need to say, that we'll reserve the right to bring you back up for a few more questions later.
Yes,
on.
sir. No problem.
All right, do we have, I don't have anybody that has signed up otherwise, but are there any other comments that need to be made in favor? I'll do that first, and now I'll, not seeing anybody else getting my attention, I'll invite you to come up and give us more insight on this request. Your name, sir?
My name's Tom Ellis. I live at 1500 Black Hike Road. I'm next door to Chris's property. Basically, I have 3 questions. The first is, Well, I think he's already decided that it's two pieces of property and very likely two houses will be built. What would prevent all the other landowners on Black Hike Road from doing similar actions? And does the county have plans to improve Black Hike Road for the increased traffic?
Okay, so those are questions we may not be able to answer today, but we'll have them in our thought processes, okay? Anybody else that needs to speak? All right, there is time left. I'll ask you to go ahead and address that one, and then we'll sit back down and see if these guys have any others.
Yes, sir. We're gonna put one house. That's the only intention. There is a second house that I'm already working on in Greene County. It's not on the Oconee County side.
Could we get you to speak up a little bit, please, rather than
sorry.
louder? Thank you.
Is that better? We're only planning on putting on one house in Oconee County. It's on the larger split of the proposal that I have. The other side will remain agricultural, and then I have another already in existence working process to put a house in Greene County, which is through an easement at my address that's already into place.
But it does come out on Black Ike.
Comes out on Black Hike, yes. That's where my permanent residence is, and we're looking to add one more residence total on the property.
Okay, that'll be enough for now.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, anybody else that would like to bring up any other issues with this request? Okay. With that, I'll go ahead and close the public comment period and open it up to my questions up here. That does mean that unless we call you up, we'll just be the commissioners addressing this. All right, with that, guys, are there any questions you have for anybody here?
Mr. Chairman, if I may address a question, Mr. Harris. And I noticed that these are two plats or two pieces of property that are two different triangles almost. And one of them is the larger, the 10 acres, which I think is the question one. What is the situation as far as how many houses can he build? In other words, if a new owner wanted to come in and split it again and make two lots instead of one lot, or two houses, residents instead of one, what would be the process, please?
Well, the UDC would preclude that. So the UDC would allow for one split only along Black Ike Road.
Okay,
And that's what's being done with this proposal.
okay, so it would be one house on the 10 acres.
That's right, yes,
And that's all that would be allowed under the,
under the UDC,
Development code.
under the current code, that's right. yes.
very well. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions?
Got a question for that.
Go ahead. Mr. Terrell, would you come up?
Sorry, sir, I didn't understand who you were asking for.
Yeah, so tell me, so the track that the line splits
Yes, sir.
and this track number 3 in the back, 158 acres,
Yes,
you
sir.
own it also?
Yes, sir, and that's where I'm building my house.
That's,
Okay.
most of that's in Greene County.
It's all, the 100.
Right.
it's
Yeah,
all-
oh, I understand it. I just didn't, I was making sure that you own that track. also.
Yes, if, Gandhi, can you show that slide of the proposed plat? Yes,
Yeah.
sir. The entirety of what's in the center is all mine right now.
Right. All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'll hold you up there for just a second. Now that is used as a bus turnaround spot these days. Is it, you gonna leave enough space for a turnaround there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we're actually, long-term, plan on setting up a little picnic area at the top, at the front, just for the residents on the road. I've got a couple of antiques and whatnot we're putting up there just for fun, and that will not preclude the bus turnaround again.
Yeah, I had that route for 5 years and there was a time when you couldn't get out to Watson Springs because the bridge had washed out.
Yes,
so-
sir. It will not impede that at all.
Anybody else? Yeah, I'll invite you up, Mr. Terrell, thank you. We have accumulated a lot of different properties along Black Ike. Is there any talk to paving it? I think,
No.
I remember 20 years ago, the owners voted it down when it was suggested that the county pave it, so,
No.
okay. All right. Now I'm gonna start fishing for a motion here, unless I have some more questions.
If I may clarify one question, Mr. Herron, if I may just clarify, I see on the staff conditions that there is a requirement in your recommendations for a right-of-way to be dedicated to the county. That would be adequate in case the road were paved and improved.
Should it ever be required? That's right.
Okay, very well, thank you. Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion that we recommend approval based on the staff, accompanying the staff conditions, recommendations that are presented in the packet.
Okay, Jim has made a motion to approve with staff's conditions. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, Chris? And with that, any discussion on that? Okay, at this point, we got two new people, so at this point, if there was any other recommendations you need to speak up, all right. Having no additional recommendations, I'll ask for a vote. Right hand, please, if you approve. All right, that's unanimous. All right, so that will be forwarded up to the Board of Commissioners. Some of your answer might be up there. All right. So, Mr. Herring, I'll hear the second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Your next case is special use P240166, Charles R. and Jane J. Hillsman. This is parcel C07033. It's currently zoned AG in the Ag Preservation Character Area, and they're requesting a special use permit approval to allow a manufactured home to be placed on a lot as an accessory farm tenant dwelling. This is a recorded plat that you have in your application. A slightly larger version showing the proposed manufactured home location with carport associated with it. These are the architectural renderings submitted along with the carport renderings and floor plan. And staff recommends conditional approval with our one standard condition.
Thank you. So Abe, you've signed up?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of Planning Commission. Good to see you all. My name is Abe Abu Hamdan. I'm the principal engineer for ABE Consulting. Our address is 2410 Hog Mountain Road, Watkinsville, Georgia. Thank you for allowing us to be here, Mr. Chairman, members. I believe the request is in order. It meets the requirements of the code. I just want to point a few things we've done just to make sure that things going to work right, you know, even when we go further from this point. We've went ahead and tested the soil for septic viability, and of course, that's all good. We even went further and drew the septic system to make sure that everything is going to work well when we get to the point with the Board of Commissioners and beyond. So we've done a little bit more homework as where the building is situated. Site plan. You would see it's good ways from the roadway. It's about 950 plus feet away. So this is about 900, you could see here, 57 feet roughly from the structure from any roadway. And of course, they're sharing the existing drive. We're not creating a new driveway as it is required by the ordinance. So Miss Julie Hillsman is the daughter of the Hillsmans, and they're here today. Mr. Charles, Miss Jane, and she wanted to live nearby the parents, help on the farm. There are a lot of chores, believe me. I've got 16 acres and 11 acres are open pasture, and it's a chore and a half just to keep up with that. We got a vegetable garden. They have the similar situation. There's a lot of cleaning up, a lot of upkeep, and she wants to be close to them on that farm to lend a good hand. The structure is actually physically moved from Oconee County in Bishop. It's a 2013 model. It's in great shape. Of course, there are some additions that we're doing to improve the usability of it. We're adding a nice front porch and a rear deck to it, but also she's adding a garage structure, garage open porch, or porch, garage porch, structure there. So that's going right next to it. So all that is in the plan. Really, the impact to the utilities and to the service is very minor. We're talking about a 3-bedroom structure. The water is being served from a well on site. Again, private septic system will serve the facility or the building. So very little impact to any of the services provided by the county. Mr. Chairman, I'll be glad to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you. All right. So you guys, I assume, would speak in favor, and he's probably already covered it well enough. I don't see anybody else, so I'm going to go ahead and close the public comment section at this time and bring it up to these guys for any questions, and then we'll move on. You look like,
Mr. Heron, in simple, I understand what the situation is with the family and the daughter moving to work on the farm. Down the road, at some point in time, if the farm were sold, what would be the result at that time? If with a new owner, what would happen? Would you still have the same conditions?
No,
Whoever lives there would have to be working on the farm?
Yes, because the special use would only apply to the person who's living there. So if they were to vacate the property, that special use would be absolved.
Okay, so the same conditions would apply
That's right.
for a new owner?
For a new owner, yes.
Thank you, sir.
now, this is one of the only conditions that you can build a smaller than typical house and also use trailers as for this tenant resident situation. All right, any other questions need to be addressed? You have a question. There you go, Chris.
So the,
Address to-
Abe, yes. So the photos, it looks like it's sitting on a solid foundation. Is that true?
It would be built
Okay.
up foundation to sit
Right.
on. Yes, sir.
Want to make sure that the photos were representative. of-
No, we don't want that, but it'll be sitting on a
Yeah,
foundation.
okay. So it's going to look similar to what the current situation is.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? So now I'll start fishing for a motion of some sort.
I'll make a motion, we approve P 24-016.
Approve with conditions, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. And Matt has given me a first. Who wants to give?
Second.
There you go, Colby. Robust set. All right. So we have a first and a second to approve with the staff conditions. All in favor, please raise your right hand. That's unanimous. All right, that'll be sent up to the Board of Commissioners. All right, with that, guys, I can look for a motion to adjourn. Unless there's any other discussion. Chris? Need a second? No, Nathan, got it? And with this, we vote with our feet. All right. Vote no stand.